Hello, participant. I would like to start this international webinar with the special quote that is success usually come to those who are too busy to be looking for it. I do repeat, success usually come to those who are too busy to be looking for it. So starting a new chapter, I, Abhishek Kumar, being your host for the event, want to extend a very warm welcome and very good evening to all of you present here. And I hope you all are doing amazing. So, on the behalf of the whole SEMS family, I welcome you all for this international event on the dynamic of women empowerment in the agriculture. So, we will go with an insightful journey into the world of the women empowerment in the farming agriculture with the special focus on the captive district of Sofian, as we will develop a micro level study with the deep study to the that will transform the dynamic and that are reshaping the agriculture landscape, that are empowering the women farmers. And to add to our guest of honor and our speaker, Dr. Firdos Ahmed sir. Sir, it's a great honor to have you with us, and we are very much thankful for your presence. Now, let me introduce our speaker to you all, Dr. Firdos Ahmed sir. He is currently working as a professor of the economics at the University of the People in Pennsylvania, California, US. Prior, he has served a research fellow at the National Institute of the Public Finance. Apart from that, he has also worked as a senior research associate at the Jindal Center of the OP Jindal University, Sonipat, Haryana. Apart from that, he has done graduation and MPhil and PhD both in the economics from Baba Saheb Bhimrao Ambedkar University, Lucknow. While talking about is that he has done post graduation in the economics from the University of the Kashmir, and apart from that his interest lies in the microfinance, financial institution, financial literacy, and lot more. He has also contributed in the book publication like the Financial Institution Schemes of India, Springer publication, Financial Behavior of Urban Dwelling in India by notation, asymmetry of information and lending risk livelihood from the pattern of the street vendor in India, and lots more. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everybody. At very first, I am very thankful for SAM Foundation for providing me such an opportunity to express my views on that topic. Thanks again for this, wonderful opportunity. And I would like to, thank all the participants. Most of them are my colleagues and friends. So kindly have patience with me. So today we are going to discuss about the dynamics. It is actually a joint work paper with one of my colleague, namely Dr. Sahid Suhail. He has done his PhD from Aligarh Muslim University. He is the co-author of this. And there is Professor Azra Mosi. She is also the co-author in this paper, and myself the third author of the same study. So this study talks about dynamics of women empowerment in agriculture. This study has been carried in District Shopian. So the first and foremost question arises when somebody is going for any type of research, that what is the motivation behind this research? If we try to understand what we want to, understand from women empowerment, the first and foremost question arises, why women empowerment is important? And the second, point of motivation for this study is that we want to understand this empowerment of women agriculture workers in a particular district of Kashmir that is called Shopian district. And third point of the motivation is we want to estimate women empowerment agriculture index. And fourth point, which is the motivation of this study, is that we want to understand the gender parity index among these women labor participants. So to understand what is empowerment, Naila Kabir in 1930, she is a professor born and brought from India. She is working outside. She has defined what empowerment actually means. So according to her, that empowerment is defined as the expanding people's ability to make strategic choices, particular in context in which the ability has been denied to them. So, in nutshell, if we try to understand in layman language, empowerment is something which people are lacking as they are having ability but they are they do not have choice. So this denial which which has restricted their choice, that is we defining as the empowerment to provide them without any restriction. So the second point is defined by Agarwal, and literature is also putting emphasizes on this. Women empowerment is important with respect to the woman empowerment is very important with respect to the woman, as literature suggests us that sorry it is as literature suggests us that women empowerment provides greater welfare to the society. It starts with the family, then girl education, it deals with better labor market, and it also facilitates decision making power in the village body. The study has been carried by Agarwal in 1994. So these literatures clearly emphasize that how important is women welfare and women empowerment. Women empowerment is highly researched topic, and the international organizations, whether it is a World Bank, Asian Development Bank, IMF, and other related organizations within India, outside India, women cell and established these, the all scope of these organizations, they are very much emphasizing to provide women empowerment. Although we do not have full-fledged women empowerment, as we are the citizens of India. India resides in rural areas where women are lacking basic rights. So let us try to understand the historical pattern where from this empowerment term has started, how the policies has embedded. If we try to understand 1947 United Nations adopted bill for fundamental human rights, they have given focus to women rights, human rights, providing equality. Without these rights and these fundamental resources should be provided without any discrimination, whether it is color, caste, or creed. Similarly, there is the gender equality provided in the Mexico Conference and then followed by Belgian Conference in 1995. Then altogether we came with the a broader concept that is called Millennium Development Goal in 2000. They were putting thrust on intrinsic and instrumental gender equality. But then Professor Sen, who is the Nobel laureate, he told that achieving intrinsic and instrumental use will qualify gender equality. But although we are lacking these things, and Millennium Sustainable Development Goals, one way or other way, didn't fulfill the objective of what Millennium Development Goal was all about. Therefore, there came Sustainable Development Goals. If we try to understand Sustainable Development Goal 4 and Sustainable Development Goal 8, Sustainable Development Goal 4 talks about that we should have awareness, we should provide education, we should provide technical education, vocational education, so that women become independent. And with the same guarantee in Sustainable Development Goal 8, which justifies that they should provide self-sufficient job facility. It talks about Sustainable Development 8 talks about empowerment of disabled women. They are talking about inclusiveness. They are talking about equality. So therefore, sustainable the pattern. If you try to understand the pattern from 1945, it started. Then conference in Mexico, then Belgium, then MDGP goal, Millennium Development Goal came. They were trying to identify the restrictions, identify the marginality, but they didn't although help us to provide equality and inclusivity. The inclusion concept came in Sustainable Development 4, where it talks about to provide education, and Sustainable Development 8, it justifies that they should provide, jobs as per their capacity and capability. So this is a, snapshot that what Millennium Development Goal was. It was, trying to, help us to eradicate poverty, eradicate hunger, achieving universal education, promote gender, and so on. But it didn't, help us to achieve the full-fledged goal. That is why we have, sustainable development goals. Particularly, we are talking here development goal 4, which provides quality education. Under that quality education, it talks about to provide women skill-based education, vocational education, so that they will qualify gender equality. And in sustainable goal 8, we should provide them jobs as per their education. As this study is about one of the districts of Jammu and Kashmir. Jammu and Kashmir District Shopian is in the part of southern part of India, and it is also South Kashmir of the Kashmir. If we talk about Shopian district, it is the southern region of Jammu and Kashmir state. It depends mostly on agriculture, and the horticulture is the main produce there. The 92% people are engaged with the horticulture process. In horticulture, 83.2% people are engaged with the apple and 8.8% are engaged with the walnut. These are the statistics by Jammu and Kashmir, digester. 70% of the people in the state are engaged in the agriculture as per the J&K Economic Survey 2016 is concerned. Now let me, take you back to the history 1950. What has happened in 1950? In 1950, there were land reforms, Jammu and Kashmir was the only non-communist state which implemented the land reforms besides West Bengal and Kerala in South India. The main objectives of the reforms were to abolish, land parasites, zamindari system, and land to tiller. The land to tiller provision was based on Naya Kashmir Manifesto that was released at that time by National Conference in 1944. So as per that, land to tiller, let me take a moment. Only less than 15% of women possessed the land titles in Jammu and Kashmir, as per the census 2011. I am giving you the statistics to understand the background of the, study. So therefore, the percentage of cultivators in Jammu and Kashmir, if we try to understand male and female participation, so it is 23.96% among males and 42.55%. So these records are as per the census 2011. If we try to understand the agriculture labor force distribution in the agriculture for males and females, so it is 12.97% and 11 point almost equal. However, 70% of the female workers are marginal in the state. In rural areas, women are involved in household as well as farm activity. So you can understand that women in sociology and in economics, we are having studies which are mostly focusing on unpaid workers, and women qualifies that they are working from morning to evening without any wages and all. So these are the other debates we are trying to understand here. Women empower. So the present paper tries to estimate the women empowerment of agriculture laborers in District Shopian. So this is the some snapshots from the district that how women are involving in different works. Mostly they are involved in the agriculture work, and as the rural condition, it is all across the India. This condition is same. Women are more oppressed than men as they are struggling for drinking water facilities in far-flung areas and rural areas. These type of problems are there. To keep these images there so that to make you practical essence that how important is life of a woman and how they are struggling, how they are managing household chores. So these pictures reflect these things here. Now let us talk about the sample of the study. As every research study follows the scientific, it is based on scientific principles. So therefore, to carry this study, we have used stratified random sampling technique, and at the first stage we have chosen two blocks in the District Shopian, namely Keller and Shopian. And then next stage we have divided that randomly, we have collected the sample randomly from 8 villages from both the two blocks. In the third stage, we have collected 162 households which were selected randomly because these villages are mostly engaged with the agriculture. Therefore, to make the sample size easy, we have collected. So in 80, as per the sample statistics is concerned, we in 88 households, male and female were interviewed, and in 67 households only male was interviewed, and 7 households which are having only female members. In the district, due to religion and cultural restrictions, it is very difficult to interview a woman when a male member is absent. So you can understand the operation, you can understand the how difficult it is, and it is again the question of women empowerment. Women are unable to understand, they do not they are not aware about things, about research. So it is very difficult to collect these research questions or interviews. As per the methodology, we have used the methodology of Professor L. Kearney. She has developed the methodology in 2013, and her co-authors. The methodology which we have used is agriculture employment index, which is composed of two sub indexes. First index is F5DEA, developmental indexes. Then the second one is gender parity index. So we will understand that how we have calculated these two indexes so that we can have better understanding. Let us try to understand what 5DE index is, developmental index is. It deals with the empowerment of women. Yes, the empowerment of a woman is accessed among five domains. The WEAI qualifies, or it is explained as Women Empowerment Agriculture Index, which includes five dimensions, five development indicators, that is production, resources, income, leadership, and time. All the domain sub indexes have equal weightage. When we are making statistical estimation, we have to give a weightage. This weightage has been developed by Professor Alkerni. They have used it in 2016. So we have followed the same methodology. Although the goal is to measure women empowerment, it is necessary to measure it relation to men in the household. The second sub index of women empowerment agriculture index is gender parity index. The two sub indexes have 90% and 10% weightage respectively. The women empowerment agriculture index score is the sum of the country level, which qualifies for five developmental indexes and gender parity index. So this is a brief about the methodology. Now we will try to understand the by formula what all it means. So I hope most of the students are researchers and all. So but I will try to explain with in a very simple context. If we try to understand the first formula, 5DE is equal to 1 minus M0. It is well explained. If you read thoroughly the slide, you will understand what how it is defined. So after having this equation, MO is equal to HP and AP, where Q is the number of individuals who are disempowered and N is the total population. The second component is called intensity of disempowerment, which is explained by AP. So we have taken the average advocacy score of disempowered individuals and can be expressed as AP itself is equal to summation Qi minus 1 Ci into Q divided by Q. So it looks a bit technical, but you just make a look it, and I will explain it very simply in the next slides. So if you try to follow up this formula is there and all the variables are explained well. So now let us go to second, rather make it more technical. Let us make it theoretical for all of us to understand well what we want to convey from this calculation. Given the main purpose of WEAI, as I have already told it is Women Empowerment Agriculture Index. This index is measuring women empowerment. But in every index, there is a scale. So as per the Professor Alkerni, if they are saying if the cutoff is more than 20%, then we can say women are disempowered. If the percentage score comes more than 20%, women are qualified to be disempowered. If it is less than 25, then they are empowered. So this is one point. Second point is an individual is disempowered if her advocacy rate is greater than 20%, as I have already explained. The second sub index, women empowerment, agriculture index, gender parity, is relatively measures the inequality that reflects inequality in all the developmental domains, which I have already explained. And in coming up tables, I will put more light on these indicators. Each household is as having lack of gender parity, so which is explained or estimated by this GPI. Gender parity index is 1 minus HGPI into IGPI. HGPI is equal to H divided by M, where H is the number of households lacking the gender parity and M is the number of dual households in the population. Dual households means where both male and women are there. Single households means where only male or female is there. So similarly, if we try to look at the second part of the gender parity is called average empowerment gap. It is an average percentage gap between the censored indicacy of the women male living in the household that lack a gender parity index. So now you will there will be more interest and it will be very easy to understand what has happened. These are some descriptive statistics about the sample population. If we try to understand the first table of the this descriptive statistics, it shows that number of households and their pattern. If we check dual households where both male and female, it qualifies 54.32%. Only male, we are having 41.358 percentage of male household. Female, where only female are the house owners, we are having the sample of 4.32. So these statistics makes us understand that what is the distribution of the sample. So moving to the second, we have tried to distribute this different age groups between men and female. So if you see the age column, it is below 18, 18 to 30, 30 to 50 and above. But we are more interested between men and women. So skip all these tables. Let us move to last two tables, two columns. Percentage of male and percentage of female. So men who are below 18%, 18 years of age, they are 5.2, where we are having only 2% of women. So the in general, what we are getting from this table, we are finding that women who are between the age of 30 to 31 to 50 years old, they are maximum 10%, and in male they are more. 35.2% people are of the age group which belongs to 31 to 50 years. Similarly, women are highest in the age group of 80 to 30 years. So we are having young labor force participation as compared to male. So if we try to understand the third table talks about the marital status, married and unmarried. So but we are more interested between male and female. We will understand between male. We are having 48.4% male who are married and 25.2% female who are married, where unmarried are 13% among male, 13.6%, and 12%. They are almost similar. Similarly, if we try to understand income distribution, so it is common between the households. So we are having people who are having less than 1 lakh qualifies 8% people who are having less than 1 lakh. So people who are having annual income, they between 1 lakh to 5 lakh, they are 83%. So why I am explaining these tables, it reflects that what is the position, what is the socio-economic position of these women. So we are having 83% people whose income annually is 1 lakh to 5 lakh rupees. So similarly, those who are having 5 to 10 lakh, we are having 4.93%. And less than 10 lakh, we are having 3%. So the distribution is, it is unequal distribution. Most of the population lies in between 1 lakh to 5 lakh. Similarly, we are following up one more table that discusses about the basic composition of householders, basic family members, that family size. Families who are having 1 to 3 members in their family, they qualify as 12.196% people. 19% householders. Families who are having household members 3 to 6%, 67. So most of the sample population resides, they are having family members 3 to 6. So if we are following up the education profile of the district Shopian, particularly the respondent. If we try to understand the group, it explains the education qualification, 10th grade, 11th and 12th. Then we have graduation, university and professional. Now let us understand between male and female how is the distribution. So among male it is 12% people who are in 10th grade, where women are 13.68. So women are more 1%. In 11th and 12th, male are 19.35%, while women have women are in more numbers, they are 47 point, more than double. In graduation, the male are 56.77%. So here it is reverse. If you see the column of the graduation, male members are more, where women are half. So at initial level at 11th, 12th, women are more, but male are less. But in higher education, you will see male are in more percentage, or women are decreasing. So it is again the question of women empowerment. So I am taking you step by step to understand the statistics, to understand the challenges of women empowerment. In higher education, among these women labor participants, they are missing, in the higher education system. Their percentage is going down. So there is one more, table which explains the occupational distribution. As we have already discussed that India is a rural India, where mostly population is engaged into agriculture. So the first occupation we have agriculture, where male are 72% engaged in the agriculture. Similarly, women are more. So women are more dependent on agriculture than male, if we see the agriculture occupation. Similarly, if we talk about industry, 3.87, personal industry and government industry, private industry and government industry. So you can see, in industrial sector, as industries are very missing in the Jammu and Kashmir, So the distribution scale is very less. Service, sector in private, 6% male, where women are missing. Service sector in government, so women are having maximum 14%. So with this statistics, let us understand what is this women empowerment agriculture index. That I hope this table is visible to you. It was a haphazard table. It was very difficult to adjust, but I tried to. But I hope these numbers are visible to you. Are these numbers to visible you? Can anybody speak? Am I audible to all of you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. So as the numbers are very, less in size, I'm sorry for that, but I will try to make you understand what we have done in. It is, almost half of the paper, this table explains women empowerment agriculture index. So if you see disempowered headcount ratio, where in the initial stage, what Professor Alkarni told, if the percentage is more than 20%, that qualifies disempowered head account. So women are 80% empowered, where male are only 20%. Similarly, average advocacy ratio, inadequacy ratio. So we are having 52.0 this to 58.2% women qualifies this, where male are having less percentage. Disempowerment index in totality, we are having 47% women who are disempowered, while in case of male it is 0.06, almost very nil. I think less than 6%, where they are 47%. As the 5 DEX domains of these five variables, women again qualifies 53%, where male is 0.93. It is not an index, it is the domain distribution. So number of observations, among women we are having 95 respondents, among male we are having 195. So as per this table, we understand that women are maximum disempowered, that is 47%, while male are 0.06%. So moving this again, this is the interpretation of this table, that women empowerment agriculture index of this Shopian sample is 55%. As per the it is weighted 5 DE sub indexes, where it is 53%, and gender parity index has qualified 0.73%. The results are presented in table 7, which I will show you in coming up tables. The sample shows that 20% of the women are only empowered. These are those 20% women who are having government job. And in the sample of 80% of women who are not empowered have an average inadequate achievement that qualifies 58.2% of the domain. That is again reflected in tables 7 and 8. So let us try to understand. Somebody's mic is open, so it is disturbing. Can you please off the mic? So table 8, which explains the 5D, the five domains. So we will try to understand the five domains, how they are distributed. If we try to understand the production, inputs in the production decision. Now we are talking about women empowerment. So in case of the production, how women are having their role. So 0.69% people, as per the head count ratio, they contribute only 14.82%. So absolute contribution is only 0.07%. So these figures are a bit technical. I do not know whether you are able to understand it, but you can have a thorough vision to it. Let us try to make a look at last table, contribution by the dimension, as we are more interested in aggregate values, what is happening in aggregate term. As per the contribution is concerned, we are talking here about women only. So in case of production, only 25.53% women are playing the significant role or contribution in case of production. As for resources, only 26.17% women are playing their contribution. So if the income and control on the income, it is explained by 14.89%. So leadership, only 22.80%. If you see all the domains, almost 70 to 80% women are lacking these their role in these dimensions, whether it is production, whether it is resources, whether it is income or self-independence, whether it is taking a decision or time. So now let us move to the second table. Yes, now in case of men. So in case of men, if you try to understand in case of the production, that is 10%. in the contribution of the production. And in case of resources, it is 36%. In case of income and the control, it is 7.75%. And in case of leadership, 31.4. So in conclusion, so what we have understood from this study, in conclusion, this study concludes that women are highly disempowered. And we have, as per the statistical figures, they were 80% disempowered. The mechanization of agriculture as the main reason for that, mechanization has displaced women from agriculture. As nowadays women were pushed, in traditional times or 1 or 2 decades before, they were working in agriculture laborers. Now there is, technology is coming, tractors are coming, or easy, high yielding, variety, type of technology is coming, digitalization is coming. They are displacing women from the agriculture. So it is becoming more challenges for those women who were dependent wholly and solely on the agriculture. So other job options available, women have a lot of leisure. So mechanization and however disempowered. Due to technology, increasing technology, these rural women are disempowered by the technology. So although this study has a limited, sample size, and we cannot make it more representative to, for the whole this population. So therefore, in Shopian district, for an example of disempowered women in all dimensions, whereas men are also disempowered, but in other dimension, group and time. The women empowerment agriculture index by components can be identified by key areas of disempowerment for men as well as women, which can be used to prioritize intervention. Further disaggregation of index can be used to identify regional variation to further tailor strategies to redress, empowerment gap. So these are the, nutshell of the conclusion of our study. Now, what is the policy implications? If we try to about, talk about the policy implications, these women, they lack land titles. They do not have ownership to the land, have little access to credit. They are not independent, have not control over the income. So, however, the conclusion shows that the women are highly empowered in time component. The high percentage of women empowerment is time component is due to mechanization of the agriculture. Mechanization of agriculture has displaced. So as I have already told this, in the previous slide. Now, if we try to understand what is the policy contribution of this study, given that women are disempowered in all indexes, it is important for the government because government is the policy maker. So they must provide proactive role to give women land titles. Women should have land property by their own name. Even though the laws are there available, but it is a social laws that are powerful in case of inheritance, which inhabit the inheritance to the women. However, being a Muslim dominated area and the Muslim laws provide inheritance to the women, the government must use religious men and women to provide land titles to women. In addition, government must provide incentives to women farmers to go for cooperative farming, as there is a creeping harmonization of agriculture going on in both states as well as the country. There, besides this, we have tried to measure or estimate women empowerment. But besides this, there can be various techniques which can put light more on women empowerment, dealing with different subject matters. So I urge researchers to put light on these areas. And Jammu and Kashmir itself is knowing only about tourism, and it is in the news because of politics and all debate. But there is larger scope to research on different domains and different sectors, so that to come up with the realities and policy framework. So with this, I am thanking to all of you. If there is any question, please.
Uh, Thank you, sir. And I hope our participant learns many new things from this session. Actually, sir, there are some few questions which our participant want to be answered. So, shall we start?
Yes, please.
Okay, sir, can you just tell us the qualification need to be required to do women in the farming or in this field?
I didn't get this question well.
Actually,
It
sir,
is in chat box.
mm,
So I will let me provide the open opportunity to every participant. They can raise their hands and ask me directly. They can open their mic if they are in a position to open the mic. So it will be more fruitful discussion if they open their mic, and I will try to answer their questions as per my understanding.
yeah, sir,
So
sure. And I hope they will come, sir.
yeah. So there is Dr. Jaskaram. Please unmute yourself. If they are unmute, they are allowed to unmute themselves.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And they can.
Yeah, if you provide the mic, yeah, Dr. Jaskaran, please, go ahead with your question.
Okay. Am I audible?
Yes,
Hello?
yes, 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 you are
Okay.
audible. Please.
Okay. First of all, I would like to congratulate both the organizer and the presenter that for this very good presentation. For those, I have two queries
Yes, please.
from your conclusions and policy implications. One is that you showed a inverse relationship between mechanization in agriculture sector and
Yes,
empowerment of women.
yes,
My query is that in Jammu and Kashmir, basically agriculture work is being done by the casual labor. Like in Punjab, in other green revolution regions, we have large farm size. And definitely there are crops like wheat and rice. Definitely mechanization is curtailing employment, casual workers in agriculture sector. And in Jammu and Kashmir, basically, I think there is a crops like apples and
yes,
other
horticulture is there.
horticulture crops. Definitely,
Yes,
there is a need of casual female workers. And what are the reason behind that? How mechanization in agriculture sector is reducing female employment in Jammu and Kashmir.
yes,
And I
yeah,
think,
yes, yes,
yes, if
yes,
you can
please, if
explain.
you
Yes,
have,
yes.
any more question? Yes. So thank you very much, let me answer first, this question to Dr. Jaskaran Singh. Then, we will call the next, So, Dr. Ajit Kumar, can you, mute yourself? So, yes, this is a wonderful question that there we are having.
यही तो फायदा है कितनी चीजें जो यहाँ नहीं कर सकते वहाँ निपटा लेते हूँ
Hello, Dr. Ajit Kumar, can you mute? Organizations can, organizers can mute him. So, let me try to. Yeah, okay, I have muted him. So, yeah, this is a wonderful question as we are having labor migration from outside the state and they are, engaged highly in our agriculture activities in rice field and all. While we are talking here, the sample is agriculture women workers who are particularly engaged in agriculture work. Now, the question is how technology is, making a restriction for them, making them away from the agriculture in traditional times women were if you are aware about these horticulture apple industry and all we have to make these pesticides and all for that women were carrying water they were pumping these traditional technologies nowadays there are motors and all one individual with a motor and two persons are engaged in the agriculture work like in grass cutting for the agriculture these apple trees grass cutting process is there 1 or 2 months the machinery is taking that job so one person with a machine he is making almost a 10 acre of a land in a day so these women are uneducated they are not qualified they do not have skilled education they are totally dependent on agriculture so these type of technology that is making displacing them from that agriculture work so an individual and farmer he wants to have a quick agriculture activity so he was forced to engaging 10 or 5 women to cut the grass and all now he is hiring a person who is coming with the machinery in 1 or 2 hours he is finishing this work similarly this type of tractor or bowing the seed taking care of the pesticides and cutting plugging the apple from the trees so these things are mechanization is important we are not against the mechanization but we are talking about sustainable development goal 4 that provide them technical education so that they will be in the system at this age as we have seen our sample size 31 to 50% of the age of the in this age group these women are in the age group of 30 to 50 years of age so their life has now gone they will not be going to school to get educate themselves and come into the job market so therefore these things reflect that they have been displaced by the high technology but as it is the limitation of our city our sample size is very less we cannot we cannot our city is not representing whole Jammu and Kashmir we are having geographical differences where Ladakh is having different climate Jammu and Kashmir is having
देखा
different
था
and within Srinagar
एंशियंट टाइम का खेल है जिसमें बीज हुआ करते थे फिर उसको
you can just remove her so yes next question I hope doctor I have given answer to your question
For those, one question is pending. Can I ask?
Yes, yes, please.
Yes, you have also elaborated that the ownership status of female in Jammu and Kashmir.
Yes,
I
yes.
think Firoz, like if somebody has
Yes, where is Dr. Jaskar? Hello, your mic is mute, doctor. This Ajit was, doing disturb. I have removed, him. So till
hello.
yes, yes,
Now
you are audible. Please go ahead.
Okay. Like you are elaborating that there is a relationship between ownership status in Jammu and Kashmir and women empowerment. Like if in other part of India, if there is a ownership, if the female have ownership of land, then even then that their work participation in agriculture is not as as like men are doing in agriculture sector. Then how in their index female gender index in the society, I think that will encourage them to participate in agriculture or non-agriculture activities. Only the land ownership status will not provide the guarantee them to have engaged in agriculture activities.
Actually, there is
Put like,
there is research report by Food and Agriculture Organization what they are conveying in their report 2016. They are saying if we provide land titles to the women, it will increase 30% of food supply in India. And if we provide them, property rights by their name, it will increase the women empowerment. But women empowerment and women labor, they are two different things. That is why we have discussed 5 dimensions: women participation as a worker, women as an independent worker. Once you are having property, once you are having income, you are becoming independent. So yes, participation is altogether different. Although outside the Jammu and Kashmir, they may have women this property rights, but they may be less engaged in the agriculture. But as per the women empowerment agriculture index, it has been derivated from 5 domains. These 5 domains are production, or their income is there, resources is there, time is there. So I hope I have put the light. But in secondary data, it shows that as per the Ministry of Agriculture, they are saying that if we provide women empowerment and provide them property rights titles by their name, it will do 2 things. It will increase the food agriculture supply, and simultaneously it will also increase the women empowerment. Hope I have answered your question. So please.
Can I have one question?
Yes,
Can I
please.
have one question?
Yes, please.
I was going through your conclusions, and first of all, a very wonderful insight that you have given on this. The conclusion that read was that in Shopian, women were disempowered in all the dimensions, while men were disempowered, but in dimensions like group and time. So time, I understood, is reference with mechanization. But what does the group here indicate?
Actually, if you have followed my presentation from the beginning, I have explained the groups between the age and the gender.
Okay, fine.
There are age groups. So
Fine.
more people are engaged who are in male. They are in the age group of almost 25 to 30. Where we are having maximum age groups, young age groups from women, they are 30 to 50. So this is second. We have distinguishes between the education domain, how education is. In higher education, male are more, while in women are less in higher education. So education is one of the domain of 5DE. So women are engaged nowadays. They are up to 11th to 12th. Maximum participation is their women, but in higher education they are missing. Similarly in job, so only 15% of women are employed in service sector. So that is why only 20% women are empowered. Those are those women who are having job, whether it is a private job or government. So I hope I have answered your question.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much for this.
So if there is anyone, any more questions I would like to answer, please, go ahead. So there is Gansham. Gansham is there or not? ER Gansham Das Garg. Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please go ahead, put your question.
How the government is helping to remove the disempowerment of women in Jammu and Kashmir?
How the government is, there are, tremendous, programs. They are implementing sustainable development goals. They are providing technical education. They are providing vocational education. They are also providing this entrepreneurship under the Sustainable Development Goals. They are encouraging women entrepreneurs come into the market, have their own product. They are, there are various, schemes which are applying to. Now J&K is a union territory of India. So all policies and programs are applying directly to the Jammu and Kashmir. But yes, as the reality is, India is a rural area. In rural areas, we are having so much difficulties, whether it is infrastructure, whether it is health, whether it is education. Government is doing there, but it has been lacked so many years. And here we are talking about women, their empowerment within the family, within the social sector. So family comes there, that what is the decision role of a woman in a family. Government cannot do anything in that. There are laws, but there is right to property which father is giving to their daughters and all. So what I have seen in the literature, that fathers are not giving their property right till they die to their son, but son is making the ruling over the property. But then girls or daughters, they are facing the challenges, they are becoming oppressed. Then they have to go to court to take their rights to distribute that property. So these are the societal issues also there. But as per the in this former or official announcement or policies are there, government is doing their job. But we are talking about awareness of a woman. If I will give you one example, women who are in metropolitan cities, they do not have basic knowledge about taxation. They do not know about their income. They do not know about their TDR files and all. They are lacking. They are almost at good position. Some are professors, assistant professors. They are lacking this knowledge. But in rural areas, they are lacking the basic knowledge. So that gap is there. So we hope that gap should be that gap should be minimized. So yes, there is one. There is any more question? Let me go to the chat. If anybody wants us to
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Sir, I think that all the questions have been answered.
all the questions. So okay. Thank you very much for this opportunity once again.
Sir,
So
sir, thank you, sir, for answering all of this question. And I am sure that our participant learned many new things from this session.